Thank you for joining the call. To introduce myself, I'm Bharat Reddy and I'm a certified SAP CX sales and service consultant. In this, we'll be discussing on business benefits, configuration, features, and finally, we'll be having Q&A session. I request you to send out the queries which you are having via chat so that it can be discussed later on in the webinar. In this webinar, we will be discussing on the options which are available to integrate computer telephony with C4C and how does this integration works with different CTI providers and what to expect with the integration. In this, with this, we will be having an improved customer experience as the users will be able to access the customer information while they are in the call. It has the capability of tracking the calls and it has reporting capability too. We'll be able to integrate quickly as it is an out of box solution. In this slide, we'll be discussing on the overview of the SAP C4C. SAP C4C is renamed to SAP Customer Experience Suite. In short, it is SAP CX Suite. In this, SAP has combined different applications customer centric which are customer centric, and these are SAP Marketing Cloud, SAP Commerce Cloud, SAP Sales Cloud, and Service Cloud. In this webinar, we'll be more focusing on the SAP Service Cloud as it is closely integrated with computer telephony. In this slide, we'll be discussing on the options which are available to integrate computer telephony integration. The first option which we are having is local adapter integration. In this, the third party service provider will be integrating with SAP CX Service Cloud using a separate application which will be available on each and every agent's computer. The second option is widget integration with live activity. In this, the live activity will be integrated with your third party communication system providers, that is CTI widget. In this, the customers will be interacting via real time communication channels that may or may not result in ticket creation. In the right hand side we have the high level architecture of the incoming and outgoing calls flow. In this, when there is an incoming call to the agent, it will be passed on to the SAP CTA client adapter, and in turn it will be displayed. The details will be displayed on the C4C system, that is in the live activity pane. Similarly, the outbound calls, when it will be outbound calls from C4C will be sent to CTI client adapter, which will be in turn sent to the CTI solution. In this slide, we'll be discussing on the integration touchpoints between CTI and SAP Service Cloud. The touch points would be social media touch point, that is Facebook Messenger will be integrated, the chat, live chat, the phone calls, that is incoming and outgoing calls, the messaging, that is WhatsApp and SMS chat, and finally the email integration. In the bottom table we have the SAP Service Cloud standard functionalities which are available over here, and in the right hand side we have the service providers in the market. It was listed, the few service providers have been listed which are available in the market. For the demo purpose, we are using the cinch as illustration. We'll further discuss on these each and every integration touch points, and few of them will be uh, given as part of demo. That is phone call and chat would be given as a demo in demo system. In the next slide, we'll be discussing on the call integration. And for this, I will be navigating to the demo system so that it can be shown in the system itself. I've logged on to the SAP C4C demo system. As and when the user logs into the system, the user will be landing onto this page where we'll call this as home page, and it has different cards where it would be navigated to the reports. Okay, and in the top, this blue, this is called the header bar. In this header bar, we in the left hand side we'll be having, when we click on these three lines, it will be shown the work centers would be shown which user will be working on. And in the right hand side we have different icons. In this we are more we will be more discussing on this icon. This is a telephone icon. It is for calls, that is live activity engagement. Engagements would be available over here. This is live activity center. For demo purpose, I will be clicking on SAP CTI demo app. Let me log in. I will try to simulate the calls. I will try to simulate a customer incoming call. For this, I have clicked on open customer phone call page so that I can simulate the call. I will be taking a phone number which is registered in the system, for the customer which has been registered in the system. Whenever I make a call, I will be having uh, uh, the live engagement enabled, and it has a phone call icon. When I click on icon, I will be having an incoming call from this this number, and it has an options called accept and reject. When I try to accept the call, in the back end, in the background, we have the customer details which have been already populated with the customer, with all the contact information, timelines, that is the past interactions, the products which has been sold to the customer, and the tickets which are created for this customer. All these details will be populated for against the customer hub. In the live activity center, when I click on the live activity center, we'll be having all the relationships for this customer who is calling the call center agent. So in this relationships, we'll be having the customer, the the registered products, that is the products which has been sold to the customers, which has a serial ID. For example, a laptop will have a serial ID, and if it is sold to a customer, that will be updated or created as a master data as registered product. And also we'll be having the past interactions, that is the tickets which has been created for this customer. And also we will be having the contacts. Contacts will also be available in this relationships. And in the right hand side we have the call information, as well as we have a option for creating new. When we take the drop down for new, we'll be having a new individual customer as an option, new account, new contact, and then new ticket. These are the four options which will be available. The first three options, if at all the customer is not available and it is a B2C customer, in that case we'll be creating as a new individual customer. And if it is a B2B customer and it is not available, the caller is not available in the relationships, then in that case it would be created as a new account. If the account is available but the caller is not available as a contact, then a new contact would be created. And finally we will be able to create a new ticket. This is where we'll be logging the complaints or the request which will be based on the call information which is received from the customer. This will be created by the agent. Here we have two options. Whenever there is a complaint received or a request received from the customer, we have two options. The first option would be updating the existing ticket. For example, the customer wants to update for an existing ticket, that is 8828 is an existing ticket which has been created in the past. If we want to update the data, or if we want to update the interaction in that ticket, then the call center agent can click on the or open the ticket, and the agent can go to the interactions where he can update a new email or an SMS. It can be sent. Email can send to the customer, or an SMS can be sent to the customer, or an internal memo to can be maintained in order to give an information to the users who are working on this ticket. For this, I will be selecting it as in this example, I want to update it as an internal memo to the team who is working on this ticket. For this, I will be selecting an internal memo and click on new. When I click on new, I will be having a rich text where I can update the uh, details of the internal memo. For example, the customer wants, I'm updating it as a customer wants to expedite the resolution of this ticket, of this complaint. This is the memo, which internal memo which I want to provide it to the users who are working on this. Once I updated the text, then I will be posting it. Once I posted it, it will be updated in the interactions. So if you see, there is a update on this interaction, that is customer wants to be expedite the resolution of this complaint. Okay, this is the first option. The call center agent can update the existing ticket, or the call center agent can create a new ticket altogether. For this, we need to go to the new and create a new ticket as a complaint or a service request. For now, I will be creating it as a service request. In this, we will be having few mandatory fields and few non-mandatory fields. So as part of mandatory field, the subject is a mandatory field. It can be updated, and the description of what issue the customer is facing. We can update what issue the customer is facing. So in this, we will be updating the brief description of the issue the customer is facing out, and click on save and open. Once it is save and open, it will be navigated to the respective teams who will be working on these tickets. And finally, once the log, once the customer is, once the ticket is logged, based on the confirmation of the customer, the agent can end the call. Similarly, we have the customer chat too. I will try to simulate the customer chat. For this, I will be clicking on open customer chat page, where we'll be having customer name and the email ID, and click on start chat. So this is the landing page of customer. So he will be typing out uh, um, the issue which is facing out. So as and when a chat is posted out, there would be a message icon, where upon clicking on the message icon, the details of chat would be shown over here, where the agent can respond back to the customer. So the agents would be replying back to the, or respond back to the customer via chat. As and when it is posted, the customer screen would be visible with the response of the agent, and the customer would be replying back with the issue which he is facing out. So as and when the customer wants an update on the complaint which is placed earlier, or uh, uh, earlier, the agent can check the details of the complaint. So here in the background, we have the customer complaint details. So this is the complaint number which is logged earlier. He can check the complaint status and reply back to the customer. And once all the chat is completed based on the customer consent, the agent or the customer can end the chat and complete the interaction via chat. So these two touch points, I just want to have a demo via demo system. I will be quickly navigating to the PPT and run through the slides. We have stopped at the incoming call, or call touch point. I will navigate from here. I will uh, uh, run through the slides from here. In this incoming call, We will be having as and when there is a call from the customer, we'll in the background we'll be having all the details of the customer, all the relationships of the customer with the uh, with the with the with the company. And the agent will have the four options, that is the agent can create an individual customer or an account, or he can create a new contact for an account, for an existing account. And finally, the agent can have the option to create a new ticket, that is either a service request or a complaint. This will help in a better service to the customers. So as and when there is a incoming call, as shown in the demo, we'll be having an option for accepting the call or declining the call. As and when it is accepted, in the backend we'll be having all the details of customer, that is in customer hub, where all the interactions or the relations with the company would be available. And also the recording will be on, all the conversation history would be visible. And once the call is completed, we can end the call. And uh, in this screen we will be able to see all the interactions with the customer, and the options in the right hand side we have the options where we can create a new individual customer, new account, an existing or a new contact for an existing account, and finally the new ticket for creating a customer request or a complaint. In this we'll be able to uh, uh, this is the screen of the ticket. Once the ticket is created, the screen would be in this way, where we'll be having header details and the interactions with the customer. And coming to the next slide, next touch point, that is Facebook Messenger chat. In this social media integration touch point, we'll be having this will be utilized in three different components, that is SMS server, Facebook Messenger, and the Facebook webhook service will be configured in order to integrate the Facebook Messenger with the with the CX system. The the purpose of webhook service is to monitor Facebook Messenger page. If there is a new chat is initiated, the webhook delivers the messages to a pre-configured destination. That is, in this case, it is the SMS server that takes care of incoming and outgoing chat messages. As and when the incoming Facebook chat. So here in the right hand side, the customer screen of chat would be chat is illustrated. And as and when there is a chat replication from the messenger to the webhook, then it is populated with the to the CTI. It will be populated with accept or decline. This is in the activity live activity live activity of C4C system. So based on the agent, they will be accepting the call, accepting the chat, and further the agent can respond back to the customer and help and it will help the agent to serve better by checking the details of the customer, the interactions of the customer in the in the C4C system. And finally, the details, the chat details would be registered in the timelines, that is interactions. The next touch point would be messaging, that is WhatsApp message or SMS chat. Similar to the other two, whenever there is a incoming WhatsApp message chat, then there will be an option of accepting or declining the call, declining the chat. Once the chat is accepted, now the agent can respond back to the customer with the details requested by the customer. As and when it is posted or responded from by the agent, it will be in the right hand side, the illustration of the mobile WhatsApp messages at client of the customer. It is illustrated. And the fourth touch point, that is live chat and video. In this, similar to the Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp messaging, will be whenever there is an incoming chat, we'll be having an option to pick, that is accept and decline. Once accepted, the call center agent can respond back to the queries of the customer and reply back. Similarly, this is for live chat, and similarly we will be having video chat, where the option of accepting or declining the video call can be done by the agent. Upon accepting, in the left hand side, the illustration is of customer, and in the right hand side, the illustration would be the screen illustration is of the agent. The agent can interact with the customer on a video and provide the information as required by the customer. And in this, we'll be discussing on the SAP C4C Service Cloud functionalities. This is the home screen where we'll be having uh, the cards, report cards. As and when the users log in, they will be landing in this home page where we'll be having report cards. There is the standard search functionality of SAP C4C. Whenever there is a search parameter, based on that search parameter, the all results from the C4C would be populated. All the relationships with this uh, search parameter would be displayed in the screen. This is the overview screen of home screen of tickets. All tickets would be visible in this screen. This is the standard reports which are available in C4C. And we have been approaching to the final segment of this webinar, that is Q&A session. Request you to let us know if you have any queries so that we can discuss, and we'll try to provide the best possible answer to you.